Hello everyone and welcome to the Pageant Perspective Podcast. As always, I'm your host Candice Freeman, and on this podcast we go beyond the sash, unveiling stories and celebrating beauty. Today I'm joined by a strong and wonderful woman. Her name is Tasleigh Mullins. Tasleigh,
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you please introduce yourself to the audience just shortly?
Perfect. Hi viewers, I am Tasleigh Mullins. I am a mother, online teacher and commercial model. I have a growing passion for the purpose of pageantry, and this is why I'm here today.
Beautiful. Just an announcement to our viewers, Tasleigh Mullins will be joining the Pageant Perspective Podcast as a host and presenter. We are very excited to have her on board, and like I said, her character is beautiful. She's a strong woman, and I'm happy to have her here as well. We all are. And to our viewers, watch out for Tasleigh. Right, so can you explain to us a bit of your character? What's your personality like?
So, definitely, well, if I have to look at it from someone else's perspective,
Yes.
I would say they would think I'm kind, trustworthy. I'd like to think that.
Yeah.
No, I really
Yeah,
try to,
yes.
and caring. Like, I am a mother as well, so very caring and precise on things.
Yes.
Definitely.
So how did it come about being an online teacher and a model and going into modeling? How did that come about for you?
So I'm going to start with the commercial model.
Okay, perfect. That's commercial
Because
modeling.
that's the order of it.
Yes, please, yeah.
I was in the mining industry.
Ooh.
I was a lab analyst and a senior process
What?
operator.
That's so cool.
And I was like, okay, no, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not aligning with who I am. So my friend once messaged me and said, there's a casting, Taz. Do you want to go to it? I'm like, okay, what is a casting? I didn't know anything about like modeling, commercial
Yes.
modeling and all those things. And I was like, okay, I'll go, just explain to me what it is. And I got the job. And the bag, the money was good enough for 6 months.
Oh,
so
nice.
I left my job and I was like, I'm gonna be fine. And that year I had my son. It was 2020.
Sure.
So a lot was going on. The world was very unstable along with my life. So I was really taking a risk and a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And entering the commercial model field. It's a very, if you know that it's a very unpredictable field to be
I
in.
see. And those were dire times, you know, COVID
Yes.
and all of that.
Yes, it was. Oh, it was. We all know.
Yeah.
And then that's where online teaching came, because I was like, oh, I need money now.
Yeah.
Oops.
But
I didn't look past. I'm like, okay, after 6 months, I'm gonna figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And that's where online teaching came into play. I was actually just, I went into it because I needed money. But as soon as I was doing the teaching, I fell in love with the kids. And just speaking and interacting with the kids. I know it's online, but it was really something that was close to my heart, because I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. I love kids,
Yeah.
but I never thought I'd teach,
I
you
see.
know, because I can only handle one child at a time, which is what was happening, because it was one-on-one, you know, it wasn't a whole class.
Oh, I see. Yeah, one-on-one teaching.
So I went for something I knew I would be good at.
I see.
So that's how it started.
So you're a mom as well.
Yes, I am.
And how's that experience been for you?
Very unpredictable. Nothing can ever prepare you to be a mom. I did prepare for my kid. We did plan to have him.
Yes.
So even with the planning, you aren't really prepared.
I see.
He's taught me patience. He's taught me how to love unconditionally. I mean, obviously my mom has taught me that.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to mom.
my son was definitely someone that taught me unconditional love. Like,
Beautiful.
I never ever felt the type of love I felt when I first saw him. Like,
Sure.
it was unexplainable. I was like, wow, I made this from scratch.
Oh, that's gorgeous. So you're a beauty, you've got brains as well. I mean, what did you have to study to work in the mines?
So I actually did not study anything that aligned with the mining industry.
Okay.
I actually studied civil engineering. I only did my first year, and then we as a family, we had financial restraints, and I was like, okay, you know what, mommy, I'm going to start working. And we came across my friend was working for this mine in Pala Platinum, and I was like, girl, hook me up there. I was like, girl, send my CV, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened. The only requirements were matric at the time.
Okay.
And then they gave you training into being a lab analyst and a senior process operator.
Okay,
Yes.
beautiful. And you were on the journey, civil engineering. You got brains. Like people, when you're in civil engineering, people are like, already, she's got something,
But that also was not for me. I was like,
I see.
it was a dream since I was younger, because I was like, okay, I want to become an architect.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I was in the field, I was like,
Sure. Wait, hold up.
this is hard work. And we're not opposed to hard work.
Yes, we're not opposed to hard work.
I was like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
All right, Tasleigh, so let's go over into the activism. You do advocate for timely hospital and good hospital care. Can you tell me more about that, please?
So that stems from struggling with my own health. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis when I was 20.
Wow.
So basically what ulcerative colitis is IBD, irritable bowel disease. Okay. So it's not irritable bowel syndrome, it's irritable bowel disease. So it's in line with Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. So in South Africa, we're not really informed about ulcerative colitis, but we know what Crohn's is. A lot of people, when I explain to them, I'm always like, it's in line with Crohn's. It's inflammation of your intestines and your colon, all those things.
That's difficult.
So I struggled with my health most of my 20s, and I've experienced public hospitals and private hospitals, and I was always so scared to go to public hospitals that I would wait to get so sick in times where I could not afford the private healthcare.
Yeah.
I would wait until a point that I was so sick that I actually had to be like emergency or like hospitalized in an emergency.
Yes.
That's how scared I was.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, because we all know, I don't really have to go into detail about what we've experienced in public hospitals, but yeah, that's why I'm an activist for that right now.
Yeah. And we don't undermine the work they do. We know it's like very difficult work.
Yes.
We understand it and we appreciate the work that our doctors do, but there's always room for improvement in that regard. Yeah?
Especially in our public healthcare sector. We take our hats off for our public healthcare workers.
Definitely.
They really push through such
difficult
working
conditions and stuff. Yeah.
Infrastructure, resources, management, they really do the best with what they have.
Beautiful. So that's how your activism came about.
Yes.
And then you also volunteered at CANSA.
Yes, that's very recent.
Okay.
Do you want to know?
Yes, please.
Do you want to know how that came about?
Yeah.
So my friend's mom, I consider her my aunt, mom even, because we grew up together, me and my friend. And her mom had cancer, breast cancer. And she has been advocating for that for most of her life. So one day she invited me to a cancer relay. And I was like, I actually love being a part of this, But it wasn't until recently where I realized that having ulcerative colitis could mean that, or it highs my chances of having colon cancer.
Oh.
So I became more aware of what the risks are of having this illness, this chronic illness. So I was like, I really want to do something that aligns with what I could potentially go through. And also giving back to people, because having an illness, you know, I wouldn't have made it through if it wasn't for my family or those close to me. So just having a support system, I was like, I want to be a part of that. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I think your experiences are so significant and it builds character, you know, like any person's experience. Sometimes we undermine the challenges we go through in life and we're like, why must I go through this? Why must I have this disease?
Like, why me? Why am I God's strongest soldier?
Oh my word. You know those quotes.
Like, okay, I'm ready.
But yeah, it does develop us in some way, somehow. It builds character, and that's what God wants from us, you know, to refine us and shape us. And I think your character is beautiful. Your presence is beautiful.
Thank you so much. Oh, likewise.
Thank you. So the next, I just want to ask about your lovely hair. Can you tell us, you said you're a natural girl and you've learned to embrace your hair. Can you tell us how that came about and what you hope to achieve in future regarding that?
So with most of my stories, if I have to tell it in full, we'd be here the whole day. Okay. So I started embracing my hair very late on in my life. Throughout my high school career, throughout primary school, there was things like texturism and obviously colorism and all those things. It was a real thing.
I see.
It was a real thing. And having the texture that I have 3C4A hair.
3C4A. Oh, I see the texture.
So my hair is very coily, kinky as well. And I didn't feel beautiful because of the texture of my hair.
Yeah.
And I felt the need to relax, straighten,
and
you know,
do all those chemical processes. Yeah, I see.
So it was coming from a place of hate. Yeah, it was coming from a place of hate and not from a place of, this is what I want to do with my hair. So I'm going to do it. It was really just coming from a bad place. That's when I decided, okay, let's look into transitioning. Let's see, you know, it became more open on social media. It gave us a platform to be ourselves.
Yes.
You know, the journey of being a natural really chose me. I didn't choose it. And it's, like I said, it's not a journey, it's really who I am. Our natural hair is not something that's like something that you look at and be like, oh, that's nice. That's just a hairstyle, you know. No, it's who we are. It's who I am. It's my identity. So that's basically, the reason why I started this journey.
You know, when you're mentioning this, I'm thinking if social media wasn't there, I also probably wouldn't have started my haircare journey, you know.
Yeah.
Because I just forgot her name, but I think her name was Ruby or something. And I saw she had this lavish, luscious, big curly hair. And I'm just like, who is this person?
Who is this person? Yeah.
And that time it's just someone here, South Africa, a young colored girl embracing who she is, embracing her hair and everything else. And I was like, I want to be like this girl. I want to do this and embrace my hair. Because let me tell you a funny story. My mom was always complaining about my hair wasn't manageable. And then eventually...
Oh, that as well, yeah.
You know?
That was also the reason where we went down that rabbit hole of like not liking our hair.
Not liking our hair, exactly. So my mom was complaining. Then obviously after a few years, I had to take over. And boy, oh boy, it was difficult. And then later...
She didn't lie.
Yeah, she didn't lie. So then later on, I then took it on myself. Actually, before that, my hair like broke off as well. Have you ever had an experience with your hair? Like just, it gave up?
Yes, of course. Of course. I mean, who hasn't, especially in our generation, you know, it's more accepted now to have your hair the way you want it. But back then, we really fried our hair. We really put our hair through the motions.
And I was just like, you know what? I can't take this anymore.
I'm leaving you because you were treating me really bad.
Exactly. Tasleigh, can you please tell me what are some of your aspirations for the future? What do you look forward to doing and achieving?
So one of it, so I'm going to start with my personal journey. One of it is definitely, this is why I entered Miss South Africa as well, the proper and timely medical health care. That platform will really provide a way, a means to talk to people like the Minister of Health and big organizations.
It gives you a big platform, and big organizations.
A much bigger platform to you know,
speak, voice
your concerns,
and
do something about my
The thing you're advocating for, yes.
The thing I'm advocating for. Thank you. You're always filling in my words. I'm like, yes, the perfect person to talk to right now.
We connected, yeah.
So to really push my advocacy on a bigger level, a bigger scale. So talk to organizations and the Minister of Health to improve the infrastructure, the resources, and the management in our public healthcare sector. I know an NHI was signed, but action needs to be put behind those things, and organizations need to come together to, improve that sector. It's one of the things that need improving in our country. Yeah.
And let me not forget that you did enter Miss South Africa. You were in the competition, and how was the competition for you? What would you take from it?
So, I was still answering the previous question, but now let me answer this question. So what I took from it is growth, basically. I didn't make it to the top 30, but I did make it to phase 2.
Beautiful.
If people know that there was like phase 1 explained, phase 2 explained, phase 3 explained, and then phase 2 was basically vetting, background checks, interviews, answering certain questions, and all of that is on social media. So you'll get a feel of what phase 2 was, and then there was top 30.
Okay.
So I was just really proud that I got to phase 2, and I got to speak to Stephanie, like the CEO of South Africa. Like she personally called me. I was like, "Hey girl, hello,
Stephanie. We hope you're watching."
So it was a really amazing experience just to experience that part, you don't really have to always make it further to experience something amazing. Yeah.
So I just want to add, your biggest competition is yourself, and the fact that you overcame maybe some limitations or some fears or insecurities with entering the competition, you actually overcame more than you think you did.
Exactly. Especially the Miss South Africa platform just being or recently being inclusive with the rules or the restrictions of Miss South Africa. It's very recent. 2023 was the first year that they were like, mothers can enter. People with tattoos can enter.
Actually, mothers, I remember that. Yeah, there was like a big milestone.
And trans women and all those things. Like, they were very, very inclusive. That only happened in 2023. Yeah. So I didn't think it was possible for me. Even in my entry video, I was like, I am so grateful just to have the opportunity to enter a platform like Miss South Africa. Beautiful. Just to enter. So even just getting a call from Stephanie was like, girl, you're on the right path. You are on the right path.
Definitely. And so furthermore, with the questions on your aspirations, you mentioned, you can continue from that.
So besides being an activist for proper and timely medical health care, I am in the works of starting my own haircare brand.
Beautiful.
Natural haircare brand.
Yes.
I definitely support people that do not want to be natural. But if you are aligning with my story, then this brand will be for you. And even people who have like alopecia or people who choose to be bald, women who choose to be bald, and men, of course, our men.
Yeah, men out there. Yeah.
So the line would also include skincare, because now we don't have hair on the head. Skincare for your bald head and hair care for your curly hair of all types, Yeah.
And then, how excited are you about joining the Pageant Perspective podcast?
I am so excited. I am so excited. Very excited. I'm gonna say it again. I'm very excited. Are you ready?
What did your mom say? You told us what your mom was like. What was your mom saying when she heard about this?
My mom was like, you are famous now. I knew it. She's been saying that. Even when I entered Miss South Africa, she's like, okay, Miss South Africa. I'm like,
no, your mom's your hype man. Like, your mom's your biggest hype man.
No, you raised me. Can't you see the correlation? Can't you see? So yeah.
That's beautiful. And I'm also happy to have you here. I think you're a brilliant woman. And I think you have a lot of class, you have a lot of pizzazz and character. So I'm really looking forward to everything, And like you did say, you are interested and you have a passion for the purpose of pageantry. So Tasleigh, ladies and gentlemen, Tasleigh, welcome to the Pageant Perspective Podcast. To our viewers, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tasleigh.
Can we get a hoorah?
Woo!
ASMR.
Oh my word, it was such a great pleasure interviewing you, and I'm so excited for the journey ahead.
Oh, so am I.
Awesome stuff.
So am I. And to see you often, I mean,
definitely.
girl, that's the most exciting part.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll be there. To our viewers, thank you all so much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, follow us, and leave a comment. We really do appreciate your support. And thank you guys so much for watching from Tasleigh Mullins and Candace Freeman and the Pageant Perspective Podcast. It's bye for now.
Bye.